My name is Anthony Benelli. Thank you. My name is Anthony Benelli. I earned a degree in engineering, a master's in finance with a focus on computer science. I have over 30 years in computer industry, 20 years in management. 15 of those years I was an executive manager, an executive team. I served as a school trustee between 2021 and 2024, which translates into a person or candidate that can hit the ground running. There's no learning curve for me. I'd like to also, I'm sorry about that. I would like to also highlight what my goals are. When I first ran, my goal was to bring kindergarten back to Wheeler after its 19 years of absence. That was achieved in my first year as a school trustee, bringing kindergarten back to Wheeler from Willow. That freed up classroom space at Willow, allowing for pre-K, which has been now offered there for the first time. I would like to bring pre-K to the other two school zones, Deaver and Wheeler. It's not fair that the parents have to drive their children to attend pre-K at Howell. We pay the same taxes as the other school districts. I also want to have our school reverse course with the Chromebooks educating our children. The teachers are our best guides. There have been studies from Finland, and there's a book called The Digital Delusion, which emphasizes that these computers replacing teachers in class time is detrimental, especially for elementary children. So Dr. LaRocca and the curriculum superintendent need to reverse course and go back to teachers teaching in the classroom and move away from the laptops. It's no substitution from teachers. And it's most hazardous to our children in elementary school. Finally, I want to pursue the busing, my busing proposal as well. Is my time up? Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. See, only you gotta hold up the signs so that they know.
That's what I was looking for.
I did like this.
But I'm...
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
I think the greatest asset a school can do for our students is to give them the belief in themselves and primary, that they can do critical thinking, that they can think from within themselves, and to have a thirst for learning and learn how to learn. But the biggest thing is to have a self-belief in themselves and to actually learn how to think. And that'll serve them for their whole entire life, as well as their family as well. Unfortunately, LaRocca last year thought there was a need to hire an assistant principal, and now she's seeking for another assistant principal, which the district has never had. It's an elementary school. It's not like we were in high school where I can see an assistant principal is needed. But now that she's adding all of this additional staff since she's become superintendent about 5 years ago, I believe that they have enough resources to provide at least an hour, perhaps 2 hours, 1 hour on Monday and an hour on Friday, where one of the superintendents makes themselves available for a chat discussion or actually a Zoom with any parent that has an issue that would like to have a topic covered. And all the other parents in the school district can share in that Zoom. And that would be announced on Parent Square. Parent Square would announce that, oh, the topic for this coming week would be perhaps the Chromebooks. And then any of the parents who wish to chime in on that issue, they would be able to attend that Zoom meeting. And I think that'd be very beneficial for communications. Again, creating a Zoom meeting scheduled twice a week, perhaps on a Monday and on a Friday, between the hours of, say, 3 and 4 after school. And I think that's a doable thing if our goal is to enhance communications between families and the administration.
Okay, thank you.
Can you read that one more time?
Absolutely. Would you support reviewing transportation contracts or operational models to improve service? So transportation being the bus system and how it operates. Are you open to reviewing those contracts and systems.
Okay, thank you. My time starts now, right?
Your time starts when you start talking.
Okay, I just want to assure the audience that I did not ask this question. When I was on the board, I actually evaluated line items on the budget, and I identified that we actually spend $5.1 million, I'm sorry, at the time we were spending $4 million on transportation. And believe it or not, your high school central spends $9 million. We're knocking on the door $10 million for transportation at the high school. But I had made a proposal to actually save us $3 million a year if we had our own bus fleet and operated that bus fleet. 2/3 of school districts on Long Island, that's 124 school districts, have already gone to private ownership and operation of buses. That money, we could have, if we embraced my proposal from 2-3 years ago, we would have been able to pay for the cost of that bus fleet and hired several teachers. Instead of having one teacher for the gifted and talented, we could have had one teacher for each of the schools. We can also finance co-teachers. We are never going to be as good as Syosset and Roslyn and Jericho if we don't have more faith in teaching with teachers as opposed to laptops. There's a 20-point difference between the competency of our children and schools like Jericho, Syosset, and I'm basing this on last Newsday's report card of 2025. But I am totally for us providing our own buses. And I submitted a proposal. You can go to my website. I have my proposal that I gave to the board and to the superintendent, and they have failed the teachers, they have failed the parents and the residents of District 13. And I go into great detail, and I'll publish a video this Friday, and I will tell you that you have been deceived. And it's, I believe it's not just this issue, there's several issues, that it's a systemic problem between the BOE and the superintendent, that they have made statements to the public that are not true. And I'll leave it at there. You can visit my website. I'll have details on several situations that occurred. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. What are your thoughts about special ed, and how do you envision how you will be able to advocate to make it more inclusive in the school?
With the onslaught of the screens that children are exposed to, not only in class but on their phones, there's been a connection between the screen usage and the increase in mental health issues. And this is coming from the experts. They're saying we have a great increase in mental health problems. And there's a connection between the internet and these social media platforms. And that's another reason why I'm strongly for reversing course in our schools with promoting these Chromebooks. I am not saying that the Chromebooks don't provide a benefit. They do for testing. Chromebooks are good for testing. Parents have gone through COVID, and we know that's a disaster. You cannot replace a teacher. With the mental health issues have been increasing year after year, and I think we need more speech therapists, occupational therapists, even more psychologists. The complaints that I've heard from parents of special education needs children is that they're being denied further resources. I think that's a problem. I'm wondering really what's going on. Why we're not funding more resources to our special needs families. I believe we have over 260 special ed students. But that's something that definitely needs more attention. As well as the other side of the scale, the gifted and talented. We need to expand the gifted and talented. I believe this year's budget is only providing $120,000 for the gifted and talented, which mostly is just one teacher. Why do we have only, and you have to go to Willow. Why doesn't each school have a gifted and talented teacher? There's so much that we need to do, and we need to be investing in teachers, which is actually directly investing in our children. Thank you.
Sorry, I lost track. Who's Anthony?
Just so we all have a good understanding how that works as far as the school board goes for the high school. The high school is made up of 9 trustees. The 3 elementary school districts, 13, 24, and 30, get to send 3 trustees to the high school board. If trustees at 13, 24, and 30 want to serve on that board, the president would appoint them. As far as the tardiness, okay, so this could bleed into a bigger problem, a behavioral problem, which seems to is expected to be resolved by teachers. If there's a behavioral problem, which to me appears to be related to lateness and tardiness, that needs to be addressed by the parents. Now, the parents are being pulled many directions. It's very difficult these days to raise children than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So it comes down to who at the school level should be involved. I don't think the teachers should be spending their time pursuing the causes. I think the administration should be picking up the ball on that. The administration should be finding out what needs to be done to help the parents, to help the student to arrive on time. But we should not be having the teachers adopt the role of a behaviorist. The teacher should note that the child is late or absent and gets reported to administration. It's the administration that should be, by policy, pick up the ball from there forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Desiree?
Well, I would like to find out why they're late. If there's the same children late over and over again, there could be a problem at home. I mean, maybe the parent's drunk, maybe they're on drugs, you know.
Actually, at one time, the elementary schools did offer foreign languages, and I think it's a good idea. But we shouldn't go too far in before we get the basics of reading and mathematics, and believe it or not, writing. The biggest problem that parents are discovering is that their children are falling behind in writing skills. We need to have a writing program enhanced here at this school district. But languages are definitely a positive. I think it's definitely an advantageous idea, a program that I would support, but I would keep it balanced, I would moderate it. You have to prioritize these things, and it would not supersede the importance of the basics, mathematics, reading, writing. Yeah, it's a good idea, and again, when I went to elementary at Wheeler, we did have a language, and I used to know her name. I can't remember it. I had French, but in any event, thank you. Oh, okay. Drill, drill, drill. We need more oil. I think, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's far more difficult these years to be a parent than it was a decade, 2 decades ago. A lot of this is brought upon because of the internet. The children go in their room and they're on the screen, and the parents say, you need to do this by a certain time in your homework, and there's that constant tug of war of what the child wants and what the parents require them to do. Same thing at school. As far as I guess the majority of parents that don't make the meetings because they have a busy schedule. These meetings are held during the week, unfortunately. But I don't blame the board because they're all working hard as well and they're volunteering their time. So I do appreciate all the volunteers, all the trustees that volunteer their time. What can we do to help the majority of the parents that don't, ask for help? We could perhaps do a parent square and have the superintendent emphasize the importance of them speaking up if there's any issues. And the superintendent can say, listen, we're going to be addressing this issue because we're getting a lot of call out for it from these few families. And we are going to address those needs. The superintendent can say, well, I'm curious, what about all these other families that I'm not hearing from? perhaps give me some feedback. Let me know, are there any issues that you are afraid to come forward to ask? And maybe that's what they can do. Or perhaps create an anonymous channel so the parents don't feel that they're going to be retaliated against, where the sender of the question or the theme or the topic can do this anonymously. Because some parents are afraid of retaliation, believe it or not. Thank you.
Desiree, Anthony?
You're referring to the E&L, right?
Yes, English language learners or English as a second language.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if everyone is aware in the community. Currently, and for a couple of years now, if not longer, the high school buses the students from South High School and from Central High School to North for the E&L class. That sounds crazy? That's what they do. They bus our students from South High School, from Central High School to North so they can take E&L. Why is E&L not being offered at South and Central High Schools? Why are we paying these private bus vendors all this money to have the children bused to another school zone, to North? It makes no sense. In fact, when the child is on the bus, aren't they not learning? They're not learning during that trip, that wasted trip to North. It's an extreme loss of money. As I mentioned earlier, the high school spends close to $10 million on transportation. In fact, last year, the assistant superintendent for Central High School stated that their bus fleet of 5 buses was highly successful. That's correct. They already have evidence that a bus fleet of our own will save us money, which will enable us to hire more teachers. That's how we're going to get our children as good as Jericho students or Syosset students. E&L classes are very important and they should be provided locally. Again, it's confounding that we actually transport our children from South High School and Central High School to North High School to attend E&L. Within the framework of your question, it furthers the myth that the Board of Trustees creates the budget. That's a falsehood. The budget is created by the superintendent. You would think that the Board of Trustees creates the budget. Untrue. The administration creates the budget. Superintendent LaRocca would hire, not hire, but form committees. She has a nice term, I think they're called budget ambassadors. Basically cheerleaders who have been cheerleading LaRocca the past few years, and they find themselves on these committees. But the bottom line is, I was a school trustee between 2021 and 2024. The board does not create the agenda. They do not create the budget. And you know this for yourself. If you go to the videos, LaRocca presented the budget to the Board of Trustees to approve or disapprove. That's evidence right there. But I was on the board. We don't create the budget. LaRocca does. Incidentally, the question has not been asked. I'm afraid it may not be asked. I'm for the budget, but unfortunately, me not being on the board to push back, LaRocca is asking for another assistant principal. Last year, I was against the hiring of an assistant principal for the elementary schools. We've never had that. We never had a plumber. We never had a deputy treasurer. These things she's putting on the board, she's expanding the administration. But I am for the budget, but I am not for the things that she's pursuing, like an assistant principal. And unfortunately, the Board of Trustees are supposed to play oversight. It was asked about the contracts for the buses. That's what the trustees are supposed to do. They're supposed to evaluate the bus contracts along with all the other contracts. But unfortunately, our school board is more of a support of the superintendent. It's not supposed to be that way. You, the parents and the residents, are supposed to elect the trustees that you have confidence in, that will fight for what you want. And then the superintendent answers to the board. That's not what's been going on for years.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, those were good. Did we all get this in the mail the past couple of days? I received this the other day, and this is from Central High School, and the second line is central administration. The percent difference from last year to this year, Superintendent Loper is asking for a 72% increase in the administration. That comes out to $375,000 boost to what he wants to add to his administration. That's about 3 teachers. There's a war going on. Before today, I went to look at the gas price. It's $4.50, and it's going to be significantly higher when the supplies of oil actually crash. Right now, it's being buffered by the billion barrels that were on the waters past the Strait of Hormuz before the war. Those supplies are dwindling, and they're expected by the experts to be gone within 4 to 5 weeks. They can't just simply turn the refineries on to supplant the loss in gas. What I'm getting at is that the experts that you don't see on regular media is going to drive gas prices past $5, close to $6. Why am I bringing that up? Because it's as if the superintendents that create these budgets think that everything is hunky-dory, and they are asking for dollars for more staff. Why they created an associate deputy superintendent at the high school for 6 figures is mind-blowing. Our children could do so much better if we had more teachers teaching the core curriculum. At the elementary school level, LaRocca is asking for a second assistant principal. We've never had assistant principals in elementary schools. What's the justification? She claimed in a public hearing that she's speaking for the will of the community. How many people actually voiced that we need an assistant principal? She's relying on what the committee of the budget ambassadors, who is she representing? Who is she pointing to that's calling for a second assistant principal? Incidentally, I called for it last year that I bet if they approve the an assistant principal last year, they're gonna want one for every school. And sure enough, here we are in 2026, she's asking for a second assistant principal. There's endless issues. If you all visit my website, I have all these issues that are important to all the parents. Please visit. I'll have videos Friday, new videos Thursday and Saturday, as well as Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.